Hello and welcome to our Learn Python series. Today we're going to talk about NumPy. We're going to see some NumPy in action when we were going to perform some data analysis on our student data that we have. Let's just do it. We are going to see how NumPy will help us in performing data analysis. First thing first, we have imported NumPy, the library in here. We're going to use our student data file that we have used before. It has 150 student records in there. I've already processed this file and created 4 lists here: list of students, list of grade, list of marks, and list of grade A students. So now we're going to start answering the questions that we had in our previous chapter. Let's start by telling that how many total number of students we have. So we will use a length function on our student list that will give us the total number of students. And now we want to print total number of students with grade A. For this one, we're going to use our length function on grade A list. And let's run it. So we got our total number of students and students with grade A. Now, as we will perform the statistical analysis where we'll say highest marks. Instead of using marks function from Python, we will use the NumPy has a function called marks, and it's going to give us the highest marks. Similarly, there is a min function on NumPy that will give us the minimum or the lowest marks. If I want to find the average marks, it is given by the mean function in NumPy. And if I want to find standard deviation, there is a function called std, and we use that one. Let's see if that worked. So far so good. Now the teacher says we are going to increase everybody's marks by 10%. So your intuition may be to say multiply the marks list by 1.1, and that didn't work. We got an error. Can multiply sequence by non-int of type float. This is not a NumPy issue. This is the Python error, because in Python you cannot multiply a list by a float. If you want to stick with Python, pure Python, you will have to use a for loop, take each mark and multiply by 1.1. But NumPy will help us to make it more efficient. NumPy primarily works on numerical arrays, and you from your math lesson, you know that you can multiply any array by a number, means that is called the scaling of the array. So the way this works is you will be converting this list into an array, and in NumPy there is a function called array that will take your list and convert this into array. Now you can multiply this array by, let's see if this works. So far we have no error. That means it is good. Now let's perform the same statistical analysis that we performed, but this time all the marks have been increased by 10%. Did that work? Yes, you can see all the marks, lowest, average, they're all changed by 10%. Okay. There was a question where we said, give me total number of students with grade A. We use the conditional statement where we split all the students with grade A into a different list. But that means that now you had to use a conditional statement. And if I have to find grade B, grade C, you will be writing all those conditional statements. Can NumPy help us here? Yes, it can help. If you think about this problem statement, what you're really asking is that first I want to split the grade list into unique buckets of A, B, C, D, E, F, or whatever grades you have. And then I will count them, and that will give me the frequency of each of these grades. So how does NumPy help? As we said, we are trying to create unique buckets. So there's a function called unique. Since we want the count of each of these class or grade, we use a second parameter which says return counts. What is it return? It will return us two values, grade values. We will just call it grade values and grade counts. Think of it as a tuples. Did this work? So far, no error. Now I can use these two to actually create a frequency table. So for that, we will use our for loop on, we will just pick one of these. We will pick our grade values, run our for loop on it, and we are not going to hard code that how many grade letters we are using. We will make it dynamic by using length function on grade values. It will run this loop, and let's call it grade frequency, and let's print our frequency table. We will say grade, and then we will say our frequency is what? Frequency is our count, and what is our relative frequency? Relative frequency is, how do we compute? It is computed by dividing that grades count by total number of student. Okay. So that is going to give us the grade frequency. We already computed it. Now we need to format it, because when we are dividing these, it's going to give us a fractional numbers. We will say that we are only interested in 2 decimal places, but we also want to display it as percent. So we will not use the letter F here for formatting the floating number. We will use the symbol percent, which will convert this into a percent and display percent value. You can see it has nicely printed our frequency table. Now we have seen how NumPy can help us in doing our numerical data analysis. In subsequent chapters, we will see more NumPy in action for more advanced operation. I will also introduce Pandas for large data sets. Thanks for learning with us. Do subscribe and like our channel. For more information, do visit our website. Till next lesson, take care. Goodbye.